this workshop today, the goal is for you to learn how to find the contracting opportunities within the District of Columbia government and make the most of them for your own businesses. You know, having owned a small business myself, I know that agencies are looking for businesses to spend money with. You know, our agencies need to spend at least 50% of their purchases with certified business enterprises, and the Greenbook is going to help you see, you know, who's looking to buy and what they're looking to buy. Not only does our Greenbook point you in the right direction, but we here at DSLVD, and you will be assisted by our wonderful team who's on the call here today, with extensive programs from one-on-one counseling and government contracting experts to help you move your business from wherever you are to that next step. I want to commend everybody for taking the step of taking this class, because I think people are familiar with the Greenbook, or they think they are, because it's happened year after year. But I want to say that every year the Greenbook gets better. The Greenbook gets better because we do additional things to it. And I want to say that the digital component of the Greenbook and the searchable capacity of the database gives you access to more information than ever before. So please dig in and get your pencil sharp and get ready to figure out how to make that money. So have a great day, and it's happy hunting. And back to you, Q.
Thank you. Okay, if you have any questions, you may unmute yourself as we go through their presentation. And I'm going to try to make, I have on the presentation today with me, Lauren Atkins, Manager of Business Opportunities, and Katina Bolded will be assisting us as well. Our mission, simply stated, is to support you, small and local businesses in the District of Columbia. We want your business to thrive, to grow, and develop. DSLVD promotes economic development through the district and commercial corridors. Business opportunities. Our goal is to find ways to connect opportunities to small businesses. We define those opportunities as direct procurement from the DC government, subsidized developer projects, both public and private, that are subject. I thought I saw a chat there.
It was me, Quintina. I just am adding it. Yeah.
Okay. Subsidized developer projects, both public and private, that are subject to subcontracting rules. We connect you to the prime on these contracts through matchmaker sessions. The District of Columbia has set the bar for sports wagering contracts, whereas we hold the private sector, like the gaming industry, to the same standards as government contracting procurement rules, and a percentage of those contracts must be awarded to SPs. And of course, we help the agencies to find small and local businesses to fulfill their contract requirements. And we offer relevant workshops and can refer you to more intensive counseling to assist with prospecting for work. Next slide. DC Business Toolkit, located on the DSLVD website, provide referrals to get assistance, where we post grant and loan resources. There is a citywide event calendar where you can find upcoming events and networking events. There are also upcoming events on 11, Inside Track to Doing Business. On January 12th, we have Small Business Annual Checkup. And then on the 19th, Relentless Marketing, how to market your business to the DC government and primes. Transparency Portal. You will find on the Office of Contract and Procurement website, OCP, the Transparency Portal. and all access to DC government business opportunities. OCP manages solicitations on behalf of 88 agencies. Forecasts are updated throughout the year, who they are contracting with, current solicitations, and contracts that have been awarded. And lastly, the independent agencies that are in the Greenbook. Here you will find contact information and their solicitations on their individual agency websites. This is another avenue for prospecting. Establish a relationship with the key personnel and send your capability statement. If you see an opportunity that your business may fulfill, you will follow instructions on how to submit the proposals and RFQs. You may be familiar with the CBE law, but I would like to just do a brief recap. Contracts over $250,000, all construction contracts for government assistant projects in excess of $250K shall include the following requirements unless a waiver has been approved in accordance with A, at least 35% of the dollar volume of that contract shall be subcontracted to a small business enterprise. Or if there are insufficient qualified small business enterprises, then the subcontracting requirement may be satisfied by subcontracting 35% of that dollar volume to any qualified certified business, any CBE.
Quintina, this is Lauren.
I'm sorry, could you ask everyone to mute again? There's a lot of noise in the background.
Okay, everyone, would you please mute so that we won't have distractions? Thank you so much. Next slide. Contracting requirements.
We cannot see the slides.
Are you able to see it now?
Maybe,
No.
maybe some people can't see them, but I can see them.
Yeah, I see the fly. It's just you selecting the
Yes.
count on your.
I can see them.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for your response.
I cannot see their slides.
The slide presentation will be shared along with the recording after the workshop today. I'm going to continue. I'm getting the majority of everyone that can see the slides.
I can see it now. Thank you.
Okay, great. Very good. All right, I'm on slide 11. Okay, thank you. The same laws apply to CBEs when awarding a contract over 250K. CBEs perform at least 35% of the contracting effort with its own organization and resources. And if it is subcontracted, any portion of that 35% of the subcontracted effort must be with a CBE. Next slide, 12. Subcontracting requirements for CBE beneficiaries on contracts $1 million or less. CBEs must perform at least 50% of the on-site work with its own workforce. In summary, all contracts over 250K awarded to non-CBEs must have a subcontracting plan or an approved waiver. All contracts over 250K awarded to a CBE that will be subcontract a portion of that work must have a subcontracting plan or an approved waiver. Responses to bids or proposals received without a 35% SBE subcontracting plan shall be deemed non-responsive by the contracting officer. So just a quick recap, and you can also go on our website and click on the tab certification, and you can find more information. Here's the actual Greenbook website, and you may download. Yeah, this is the slide. All right, so here's the access to the Greenbook. You may find this on our website, and there's the address. Then the next slide is the actual cover of the Greenbook, which may be downloaded, but we're going to provide a download for you and send that to you. Our Greenbook guide overview will cover understanding the types of products and services sought by the DC government, locate current and pending contract opportunities within 88 monitored agencies, and consider whether to expand. This will help you to consider whether to expand your business to compete for contracts. Once we review the planned acquisitions for 2022 that are eligible for SBE spend, and then lastly, connect with our PTAC division for more in-depth contracting assistance. Navigating the Greenbook terms. The total budget is per fiscal year. Personnel and fixed costs are salaries and building lease, operations that are not subject to SBE spend. Special exceptions and waivers, where DSLBD has confirmed that there are no SBEs available or lack of capacity. Agencies can request waivers if they are unable to find a local business to perform the goods and or services required for solicitation or contract. There is a 10-day posting period for public review, and a notification is sent to all registered CBEs to alert you that there's an opportunity to fulfill. However, you must have opted in to receive these notifications. So visit the waiver portal for more information located on our homepage of DSLBD website to learn more about the waiver process. Our FY22 spending and goal calculation. Here you can see the FY22 spending goal and how it's calculated. The SBE budget goal is set by dividing the planned acquisitions expendable budget in half. That is $1.1 billion for FY22. That's so that has increased, and we're looking forward to doing more business with our SBEs. CBE certification categories. The CBE program provides contracting preference for local businesses so that they can better compete. A local business enterprise must be located in the District of Columbia. Please refer to the DSLBD website, a certification tab to ensure that you can comply with the requirements listed. And we also have a wizard that you can plug in your information, and then it will give you a list of paperwork to let you know if you are eligible for certification. And then, of course, you may contact our counselors on the certification team. Businesses may be certified in the following categories. We follow the same federal guidelines for the criteria that defines a small business. Disadvantaged business, where owners have been subject to some social or cultural disadvantage or economic disadvantages in their lives. Resident owned, someone who lives in the district. Development enterprise zone are geographically zoned areas throughout the district. Please use the map assistance on our website again to determine if your business is located in one of these zones. longtime resident, where you can garner even higher points in this category for the number of years your business has been located in the district. Of course, veteran-owned, local manufacturing, using raw materials here in DC for manufacturing, and equity impact enterprise. Now, this is a new category. This is a different set of categories for being disadvantaged business, and those all those points add up to a maximum of 12 points. For each category, you receive additional points in the procurement competition process. The benefit of these designations is that agencies are required to work with small businesses. A set amount of their budget dollars are allocated for spend with SBEs and CBEs. Small businesses can maximize up to 12 points. Receiving additional points is advantageous to you in rating and the scoring process in the proposal. So here's an example of how that can work. A proposal is submitted for 100,000. The small business submits the same proposal, but it's rated with a 12% discount. Because of the points you receive, your proposal cost is actually 88,000. You will be awarded the contract based on costs, but you still get to bill for 100,000. Please refer to the DSLBD website and click the tab, type CBE in the search tool, and you will find resources to assist you with criteria for certifications. There are FAQs there, how to find CBEs, and of course, I spoke about the wizard to determine if your business meets the local requirements. Testimonials. These are profiles of small and local businesses. Read their stories and experiences as a source of inspiration and motivation to start the process of becoming a CBE. FY22 summary of all monitored agencies. Every year, we have exceeded our SBE spend under Mayor Bowser. And likewise for 2021, I'm excited to say that we met and exceeded that goal for 2021 as well. For FY22, the initial SBE spend goal is just over $1 billion out of a budget of $2.2 billion. That is $1.1 billion that the initial spend goal will be, and that's opportunities for you all to garner business from the DC government. We have identified the top 10 commodities. These are high opportunities for growth in purchase types that will be expended in 2022. So I'm just going to go over a couple of the featured areas. Construction. Next slide. Construction, this is where you can see the type of commodities that are needed. And then the next slide, you can see the agencies that will be buying these goods and services. Healthcare. Likewise, again, you can see the type of commodities. And then the next slide, 27, you can see where the agencies that will be procuring these goods and services. This gives you a great insight so that you can reach out directly to the individual agencies. And education services, the top potential opportunities here, $95.5 million. And again, agencies that may need these services that you can reach out to. The FY22 monitored agencies, this is the Greenbook website. Now, this is the portion of the presentation where we're going to migrate over to the website. The book is a great snapshot of the spin. So you can see the snapshot on the left of your screen, and then on the right of your screen is actually the website where you can take a deeper dive into the spin and filter the information to a granular level to look at the spin and commodities. The following pages are examples of what you will see on the website. And so this is where you can follow along with me if you like, but these are just examples. And then we will take a deeper dive and go live on the actual website itself. And here's how you can access the Greenbook. So once you're on our site, click on the Greenbook, and my colleague has typed the chat, the web address in the chat. This is the very first page of entry where you can select an agency, and there are 3 tabs at the top to drill down further. Next slide. Then now you can see where the agencies are populated. Next slide. Now, for example, I have selected DSLBD. So you can see our spend, what our spend is. And then as you can see on this slide, our spend, our categories, and then what other commodities that we will be buying or purchasing through our SBE spend. So our reason why I wanted to highlight our particular page is because we have quite a few grants. So the grantees are also required to have that SBE spend. So that if once the grants are awarded, the grantees are required to fulfill at least 35% of grant monies with a CBE, SBE. That's another opportunity for you where we will host matchmaker sessions and qualify the SBEs through their capability statements. So that's another avenue for winning DC business. DCPS, District of Columbia Public Schools, an independent agency, where you can see their total budget is a little over $117 million. And their planned acquisition SBE goal, which half of their budget is over $58 million. Next slide. If you click on the planned acquisitions tab, you see the projects, the lower half of your screen. You can see what the projects are deemed for FY22. And the budget amount is also there. So that gives you a good granular idea of what the type of spend will be for these projects. And then you also see where there are some exceptions. So for example, under contractual services for school support, substitute teachers, a waiver request may be submitted because there are no eligible SBEs to fulfill this requirement. Remember that DCPS is an independent agency, so there are a lot of requirements and certifications for instructors and teachers. So that would be an example of a waiver, a waiver exception. And then we have the Metropolitan Police Department, their total spend and their potential growth opportunities. You can see they have provided their historical spend and their planned acquisitions at the lower half of your screen. And drill down a little further into acquisitions. You can see under FY 2022, I know some of these screenshots may be a little small to see. So that's why it's a good idea, a good practice to go on the website. And then you also have, in parallel to that, you also have the Greenbook itself. But under engineering support, There's a technology refresh for 700,000. This is a new opportunities that SBEs and CBEs will be eligible for. Special exceptions, the fleet vehicle purchase armored car services, where there may not be a SBE or CBE that can fulfill this requirement, a waiver request, will be submitted. That's because their cars, their police cars and apparatus are outfitted by a special company. So that company, of course, may not be SBE or CBE qualified. This is an example of where SBE may lack capacity. Again, for the MPD member uniforms, there's a special company, again, that only manufactures police uniforms and deliver these uniforms. You can see under the planned acquisition spend there. And then you can drill down further to the next slide and see what I was talking about in reference to slide 44 with the special exceptions. Good, okay. Now, if we could move to, because I've talked about those slides, can we move to slide 47, please? To regional partners. I do hear some outside noise. If you could mute yourself, please. Thank you. Our regional partners, this information can only be found in the book. These are our government corporations that also have their own mandate to contract with SBEs in different categories. You will need to do further research on their individual websites. Each agency has provided a forecast and or historical data of what they purchased in 2021. Once you are certified with the District of Columbia, both the DC Water and MWATA have expedited vendor process to onboard your business with their agency. So you have DC Water, Metropolitan Airports Authority, Pepco, Washington Gas. Now this for Metro, go back one slide to 53. This is their actual FY22 plan spend. So you definitely want to contact Metro. Next slide. And these are their commodities. Now I'm going to pause for a moment. Did I have a question to go back to a particular slide?
Quintina, yes. We had a question about how do you search for an individual agency?
Okay. Okay, I will. I can demonstrate that live, but I'll show you again on the slides. So go back to slide 33, please. And I'll show an example. Okay, here we are. So this is your first entry point. This is your first entry point for the Greenbook. And you see where the red highlight here? This is where you will click and then search and you search. Once you click that, all of the agencies will populate. The next slide, 34. And then you can drill down from here. You can see where all the agencies are. I see in the chat, can we make the screen larger? Unfortunately, we can't, but you can use Control and then enlarge it yourself. No, it will not show the actual contracts. For the actual contracts, you would go to the OCP portal. That's where you can find solicitations and actual contracts that have been awarded. I saw that in the chat. All right, I'm going to go back to slide 54. I want to talk a little bit about the worksheet. The next slide, I believe it is 54. There must be 55 on your. There we go. I'm one slide ahead. All right. So the worksheet, this is very useful organization tool. Instead of thinking out loud in your head, put pen to paper and organize your thoughts to expand and grow your business. Take a look at what the current marketing and selling reviews are. Review, research in the Greenbook and on the website for new opportunities. Think how you can expand and update your NIGP codes. And again, your NIGP codes is the National Institute of Government Purchasing, and these codes just identify the commodities. You want to make sure that at all times that your NIGP codes are up to date, because OCP uses these and the Greenbook to select the commodities and services. Now is the time, the beginning of the new year, to ramp up for 2022, and you have access to information on ways to do just that. Remember, the key is to sell more business to different customers for business income stream, and or sell different commodities to existing customers. I like my colleague's example, Ms. Atkins, one of her sayings is, for an example, handbags. You may sell exquisite handbags, but why not pivot and make perhaps maybe book bags for the DC Youth Department? So that's another way of just kind of reimagining and revisioning, retooling about your business. Contracting assistance from PTAC. This is the DC Procurement Technical Assistance Center located within DSLBD on our website, one of our divisions. So you would just go on the website, click our divisions, and then click PTAC. So they have free in-depth counseling, as I mentioned before. We have the OCP ombudsman he's a fair, impartial, confidential voice for contractors and subcontractors. William P.T., one of our colleagues over at OCP. Now we can entertain any questions, and while we're doing that, I'm going to go to the website live. Okay, we have a question in the chat. If we, oh, okay, she saw it.
Quintina, we've had a question to show the last PTAC slide again, but I think that's the slide that's currently showing on the.
It is. Yes, it is. That is the last slide that we showed regarding PTAC, and there's their number and also their website.
Quintina, we've also had a question where somebody says it's their understanding that only CBEs can bid for solicitations under $250,000.
I'm sorry.
We've had a question about can only CBEs bidding for solicitations under $250,000?
Oh, okay. No. So one thing, once you are certified as a CBE, you want to make sure, and this is encompassing another workshop that we're developing on how to hunt for business. Is called Relentless Marketing, and that's on January 19th. But if you are on that, your CBE, and you're on the OCP supply schedule, there are other opportunities there where you do not have to, the agencies would go directly to the supply schedule. If you are selling, say, widgets or something in technology, you've already supplied their bid. They would go to that website, the supply schedule, look at who's offering those, and then just select. It's just a select. And then you're awarded the contract. Now, that doesn't mean that you will get awarded every contract, because there may be others that are selling that same commodity or service or good. So they will select one of those CBEs to fulfill that requirement.
Quintina, we've also had a question about a category that you mentioned on the DC Police Department slide about new technology.
Okay, what's the question about technology?
What they asked, what was the new technical category that you mentioned on the MPD slide?
Okay, let's go back to that. I don't remember what that was. Let's see. Okay, I think that is slide 43. Engineering support. That's slide 43. It's engineering support. So once you, and I think I'll try to go live now, then I can pull it up. One second. Okay, Katina, I'm going to share my screen at the moment. I'm going to be right into. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so I got into the Greenbook on the website. So I clicked Metropolitan Police Department. Then I clicked the tab at the top here, New Plan Acquisitions. And these are the acquisitions. I don't know if you can see this. It's good if you can follow yourself on your computer, because you may be hard to see here. I'm going to scroll down. And these are all the services that are the new plan acquisitions for 2022. I'm just going to click on one. Let's do one for construction. When you click on, when I highlighted that, then it will show the amount of spend that they're going to use for construction for 2022, $950,000. You see do you see the small box under that? It says, it'll give you the project description, the title, and the estimated amount. And also gives you the NIGP description.
Quintina,
Let's do it.
now that you're live, you might be able to use the control plus sign to make your website a little bit larger on the screens.
Yeah, there you go. That should be better. Can you see that better now?
That's much better for me.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Excellent. Okay. All right, let's try another agency. This is Department of Aging and Community Living. And certainly if you have a particular one that you'd like for me to view, we have about 8 minutes left. So you click on the agency, go to New Plan Acquisitions. I want to bring to your attention, so these are the categories. And then over here are the NIGP codes. That's why it's important that your business has the correct NIGP codes, and make sure that if you're doing several different commodities within your business, make sure that you filter that out and put those exact NIGP codes. For example, let me just take a look at them. So if you're doing promotional items, the code for bags and printed bags, gift packs, they're in the same area, but different NIGP codes. So if someone is solely searching on NIGP codes alone, you want to make sure that you drill down further enough and that you list all of those NIGP codes that are relevant. All right, I'm moving down to plan acquisitions. Let's look at renovate the playground, plaza, and dog park care. So I'm going to click here. And then when you click here, you can see the small box that came under that. You can see the project title again, the estimated amount. This one is $1 million. And the agency is Department of General Services. And you can see what they're doing. So we went from $1 million to something that is a little bit smaller, but abstract painting instructor. Department of Parks and Recreation, and this for instructors for classes. I just want to show you an idea of the types of monies that are available for SBE and CBE spend in these contracts. They range from $1 million to 4,200 upwards to 200,000. This one is for striping a bicycle lane, design and striping bicycle lanes in the District of Columbia under construction. Let's take a look at another agency.
Quintina, we've had some requests to look at DPW or
Okay.
Department of Energy and Environment were two that came up.
Department of Energy and Environment. So that's your first, you bring up their total budget for FY22. Okay, and it gives you a historical spend. Then you would click on the middle tab here, new plan acquisitions. Department of Transportation. Okay, nothing came up under that. So they have an estimated amount for construction of 200,000 for design services, but have not identified a project. And you can come down here and look at some of their actively planned acquisitions. Anything in particular? Let's look at this.
I had seen a last week on one of the DSLBD emails that I get, something saying a contract, you know, it was a waiver, and it was looking for a contractor for advising, environmental advising. And I didn't know what it connected to, which is why I signed up for this.
So for, again, for that waiver, for the waiver request, you want to go on the DSLBD website, our portal. And so you did opt in to receive the emails because you said you received the notice that there was a waiver. So there's a 10-day waiting period, a posting period. It's not a waiting period. It's a 10-day posting period, where if you believe that your business can fulfill those requirements for that waiver, you will have contact information there to submit your proposal or plan, whatever is called for in that waiver, directly to the agency. And then once they take a look at it, and if you meet those requirements, then the waiver is released.
Right. It said the contract, I have the waiver number, but it said the contract for an environmental consultant to provide advisement and assistance to DOE in administering its water quality program.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have any more specifics. I don't know where to see that particular contract to see if this is a mesh with my skills.
Okay. So
can I hop in here really quickly, Quintina?
Sure.
That? Hi, I'm Ms. Bowden. I went to the Department of Small and Local Business Development, and I work with Quintina. I'm her colleague. And I just want to speak on your waiver. Now, when you received that waiver about DOEE, was it through the CBE online database? Did you get that because you're a CBE, or did you find that on the website?
I'm a CBE, and so I get a bunch of mailings, and most of them are not.
So what you need to do, you have to respond to be considered through that CBE online. The contracting officer is required to reach out to you. So make sure you stay in communication online, wherever you receive that waiver through the CBE online, that you stay in communication with the contracting officer online. Raise your hand, let them know you can provide the services. The contracting officer must.
I still haven't been able to see, like, what are the specific services, because advisement and assistance in water quality program can be a wide range of things.
Right,
Mhm.
and you can reach out to that contracting officer. It have to be through the CBE online. Only CBEs can do this, because if you receive it, I can't help you. You will have to go back and say, "Hey, contracting officer or specialist, I need more details about this," and they will send you more details about it. But the
Okay.
waiver will not be moved forward. Or you can contact a compliance specialist within our agency who oversees that particular agency, and they can communicate to get you in there. But no
Okay.
worries, if you can provide the services, definitely keep
Okay.
in contact with the contracting officer, and they have to send you more details.
How do I find who the contracting officer is?
It should be in CBE online. All their details should have been in that waiver. Go back into
The waiver
the DES
request,
system
yeah.
where you saw the waiver and read more details. All the information should be in there, as well as the contracting
Okay.
specialist that's overseeing it.
Okay, and then just email that person in particular?
Mhm.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because I just opened up the waiver and I'm not seeing. Yeah, I don't know how to follow this.
So how about if we pull this one offline? If
Thank
you
you.
can, reach out to Katina or Quintina or me, and we can work on that offline. But we did have another request to just explain the waiver process in general. Quintina, if you want to just explain how agencies start that process.
So agencies will, if there's a commodity or service that they cannot find a CBE or CBE, they will request a waiver from DSLBD. DSLBD will, that's in our compliance, they will look and see, ask us, the business opportunities, if we can find a company to fulfill those requirements. So at that point, my colleague, actually Katina, will start a search in the CBE portal. And then once we do that, if we get no response, then the waiver is granted. If we do get a response, it's posted on that waiver portal. And then again, you have to look at the contract, look at the response time, and you have to send your capability statement along with any other information they're asking for. They will review it. And if you're able to fulfill that within that 10-day posting period, then that cycle starts over again and they will source it. Please contact our office for additional questions regarding waivers, and also look on our website as well. There's so much information on the website and contact information regarding certification, compliance, the waiver request, how to search for CBEs, and also there are links there for the Greenbook and the website. At this time, if there are no more questions, please reach out to us. We want to thank you for joining us today. Again, we will host more in-depth workshops and webinars on how to utilize the Greenbook. We can go through more searches, and if you have something specific, please reach out to us directly. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, and have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.